Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are currently in the test server for Raid Shadow Legends. That means they set up basically a test server for us content creators where we can go in and look at the new champions before they're actually released, and that's what we're doing today. We are looking at Jintoro, one of the champions I think is going to be the best for Clan Boss. I'm super excited about this, guys. He looks phenomenal. I haven't even run him yet, so I'm not 100% sure how he's going to play, but so far his kit looks really good. I have him geared out and ready to go in my main Clan Boss team, so I can just plug and play him and get a good comparison about how he works as opposed to some of my other champions. So very, very excited about this. That said, let's go ahead, jump into the video. Let's jump into looking at the champion himself. So this is Jintoro. I mean, he looks phenomenal. I love it. Very samurai-esque. He's got this real weird serrated blade, but with the like frosty blue glow, and it's coming out of his head too. I think he just looks dope, as always, as expected from Plarium. Now, the way that this guy works, let's look at his kit really quickly here. So he's got 3 skills and a passive. His main skill, A1, attacks when enemy, grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. Remind me of Septimus or anybody else, right? This is going to be really nice for dungeon work. It's actually going to be pretty good for arena as well. The extra turns are a big thing with his kit here. He also has this A2. Attack one enemy, steals 100% of the target's turn meter. Reminds me of Man-Eater's A2 ability. Decrease the cooldown of Oni range by 1 turn if the target is immune to turn meter reduction effects. That means against bosses, his next skill, the A3, is actually going to have 1 turn less cooldown, and this is really cool. So, attacks one enemy, places a decreased defense debuff, weaken debuff for 2 turns, will attack 5 times instead of 1 on every 4th use of this skill against the same target in 1 round. That means the more he uses it, the more attacks he gets, the more damage he's going to get out of it. This is on a 3-turn cooldown, and if you remember that A2, this will reduce that cooldown by 1 if the person he hits is immune to turn meter effects. What this means essentially is he's going to be using Oni's Rage pretty much every other turn. Really nice ability. I really like this a lot. I'm very excited to be able to use this skill. I think it's going to be great for Clan Boss. It's basically a decreased defense and weakened champion that has that coming up very frequently and hopefully can hit really hard. Now, his passive ability, all turn meter fill effects are increased by 50% when used on this champion. Now, how this gets involved with Clan Boss, I have to tell you, I'm not 100% sure. Using him in like a secret team or something along those lines could be great. It also just could be a mess. So when he's getting more turn meter boosts than other champions, the timing of stuff becomes really chaotic. So that's definitely something I'm going to be looking at, trying to figure out, is that something that we can do? We're not going to look at that today. I'm going to look at him in a more traditional Clan Boss team. But that is something I do have my eye on in the future as far as bringing him in for something like maybe a bad meter comp, somewhere where you're getting a turn meter boost effect to make your composition work more reliably. He also has an amazing aura. All battles attack boost of 29%. That's really strong. It's one of the strongest in the game. So really great. Now, the way I have mine kitted out, I have him in stalwart gear like the rest of my champions in this team, and I have an accuracy set. Now, you can see there's no jewelry. We don't have any jewelry for this faction because I haven't been able to farm. This is actually my account. I don't have any jewelry ready to go. So I'm either going to be spending some time farming and maybe try and get some jewelry over time. But even so, you know how jewelry works. It's a bit of a crapshoot. So right now, we have done this without any jewelry. That means 178 crit damage. Think about adding 40% crit damage to that. Like 210, 218 would be a lot stronger. 206 accuracy. I don't even have an accuracy banner right now, guys. So we could probably add an attack banner with some accuracy on an amulet. Would be in really good shape. 25,000, 26,000 HP is really low. 4,200 attack, I think, is a pretty solid number. It's obviously not as high as we could make it, but pretty solid. Like I said, considering the limitations of the jewelry. Mastery-wise, we went down attack tree. We went down the defensive tree here. And then we went down the attack tree as well. And between the two of them, I think we'll be in pretty good shape here. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and test him out in a couple different areas here. So let's go ahead, first off, let's take him into dungeons so we can see what he looks like. We bring him into this dragon team we have here. And you should be able to get a pretty good idea of what we're doing. Now, I do have them set up for Clan Boss. I mean, 78% crit rate. So I'm bringing in Archmage to give us that boost So we will be at 100% while we're running it, and we get that speed boost and all that stuff going on. So I am bringing in Lydia as well. You can see the decreased defense and the weaken goes out. We get the crit rate, all that stuff happening, right? Everybody else is going a little bit faster than he is, which is fine. So now we can go ahead. Well, let's see what he does on auto. He's got 2 skills here. The Oni's Rage, which is probably what he's going to do. Single target, decrease defense and weaken. Or Blood Freeze, which is steal turn meter and decreases the Oni Rage cooldown. Let's see what she uses. Blood Freeze, because we have decreased defense and weaken on everybody, his first inclination is to use that Blood Freeze, which is the turn meter reduction. It's actually smart AI. I'd rather steal that turn meter and get another turn right away. That's a good thing. So now he's going to go ahead and do that Oni's Rage. You can see 86,000 damage. That's a pretty big single target hit. Decreased defense, weaken, and the bonus from Bad Alcazar are definitely a part of that. So don't want to get it mistaken. That is definitely a factor in there. But that's a fair amount of damage, especially considering there's no crit damage amulet. His attack is probably lower than we'd like. A1 looks 75,000 damage. I mean, the guy can hit. He definitely could do some good offensive damage. I think if you could really fully kit him out, he'd be pretty remarkable. And he gets that extra turn right there. So that's one of those things that can be really good for dungeon runs when you start getting those extra turns and start chaining those up. Very strong ability. You can see he dropped the weaken on there with that A3, the Oni's Rage. And we can kind of see him do some work now. I think he should be going. Yep. Okay, so here goes his A2. Boom. 85,000 damage. Hits again for 51,000 because he got the turn meter, so he immediately got an extra turn, basically. That A1 is pretty effective. The guy can play. So I think he's going to be really good in dungeons, pretty much any of them that his affinity works for, just because he does bring in that decreased defense. We died there. That's fine. We got an idea of the kind of work that he can do. So that's really great. So that's one spot I wanted to check him out in. Obviously, we can look at him in Arena, but I think what Arena does is pretty self-explanatory. Let's see if we can't find a slow enough team to really get a... You can see this is all brand new right here. Okay, yeah, I get it. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Arbiter. All right, cool. Yes. Oh, my God. I hate starting games. Okay, there we go. No, oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to bring him in. Now, we're starting off in Platinum Arena, just because that's where we are right now for the test server. So these battles are going to be pretty tough, so I'm not sure exactly how these are going to go. But we can get kind of an idea of how things work. If we can go fast enough, which we might be able to here, give a chance to see what he can do. Hopefully, that's the goal here. So we'll see. Got cut in, still cut in. All right, so we get to go here. So one of the things we can do is try and steal turn meter right off the bat. So like we could try and steal Foley's turn meter. Boom. Did not. Oh, it looks like we stole it and decreased his. That's a good start right there. Let's just boost us up here so I don't have to worry about it. And then we can come in with Oni's Rage. Let's just go ahead and take out Foley here. If we can. We weren't able to kill him. So he hits pretty hard, but not... Oof. Did get a counterattack in there. That was nice. So we can do some work, but we're not in, like, kill them all territory. I don't think that Arena is going to be his strongest suit. It's going to be very good for dungeons as a single target damage dealer, especially when you get to the bosses. I think he's going to be very good in clan boss. I'm not sure he's going to be super great in Arena. Doesn't seem like it. He's not built for it, right? He's too slow. He's not, he's too slow. His accuracy's too low. His damage and stuff is too low. But this skill, being able to steal that turn meter, is such a nice ability. I'm not sure if any of them. Well, we can't even get a shot off. So it doesn't really matter, I suppose, at this point. But if he can go, I'm really excited to see kind of like how that would work. Stealing turn meter is very strong. If you have a man-eater and you use them in Arena, you already know this. But let's go ahead and let's try and steal her turn meter. Weren't able to. So you do need that accuracy. That's going to be crucial for making that work. But yeah. So I mean, you can see he's got some play to him. Nothing that I would, like I said, write home about with him. But we can see. Let's go ahead and see this A3. Boom. I mean, it hits hard. I mean, Krisk is no slouch, right? He's gonna have a lot of HP, a lot of defense, and we crushed right through it. Got that decreased defense in the weekend up. Right through the increased defense that he had on himself too. So it's not bad. Just not like my favorite champion, I think, going forward with this stuff. Not for arena anyway. We want to take him in clan boss. So let's take him in clan boss. That's really the goal here, right, guys? So let's do that. You can see I got him in there already. This is my traditional team. So we'll be able to, I think we'll be able to get a pretty decent look at what he can do and how he plays. So let's check it out. Okay. As usual, get that start. Boom. Let's see how this goes. Now, I don't have Vizier. I basically replaced Vizier with him. He kind of duplicates what Rosin does with the decreased defense in the weekend. That's okay. I don't think that's going to be an issue for us. But just being aware of that's kind of the role that he's fulfilling out here. I'll let him place the first one just so we can all get an idea of what exactly it is he does. But here we go. Decreased defense in weekend. Boom. Places it. It's great. Easy enough. He does only have about 206 accuracy, so he's a little low for Ultra Nightmare. So we just got to be aware of that. Doesn't have a lot of defense either, so there's definitely a possibility that he's going to die earlier than everybody else at some point here. But the way it's set up and with Valkyrie's shield, we should be in pretty good shape. There goes Rosin. Iron Brago. And obviously if Iron Brago drops some stuff, that'll be less good too. And there you can see the cooldown reduction as he came in with that freeze ability. And his next hit should be that A3 again. And this is the beauty of what he's going to be able to do, is bring those skills back around and around again. And here you go. So he puts that decreased defense and weaken, doing 100,000 damage. Not bad. I mean, that's pretty. I think that's pretty good damage wise. So and go ahead and click auto. This is pretty much the team. You know, I think the things that we want to pay attention to is how much damage is he doing. Obviously, it's going to be relative, but I think probably pretty solid. His A1 is not as hard a hitting skill as the other one, so that's definitely, you can see he's doing 60,000 there. Obviously, we're still missing that 40% crit rate. We could probably stack another 400 or 500 attack on him if he was fully built out to really see what he could do. But not too shabby. We don't have increased crit or increased attack buff. So like remember, Brago and Rosin both have increased defense buffs, right? That makes them hit a lot harder. He doesn't. So if he can even keep kind of pace with them, that's a pretty good sign. There's 70k on that hit, really nice ability. Interested to see how he, keeps everything going here. 50k again. So it's not so bad, not too bad. So we'll just kind of, I'll get myself off the screen. You guys can watch the part of the run here and kind of see how he does. So guys, before I skip ahead to the end of this run, which we're about to do, I need to let you know a couple things about Jintoro's kit, because there are a couple big issues with it. First off, his A3 skill, it does not work if decreased defense and weaken is already on the clan boss. He just won't use it. Brainless maneuver. And then his A2 skill is going to gate the cooldown of his A3. So even though the A3 gets reduced to a 2-turn cooldown, doesn't matter. The A2 skill of his takes 3 turns. It's got a 3-turn cooldown. That doesn't change. So it's still going to be every 3 turns that he uses that A2 ability. It's a very frustrating thing. It doesn't make any sense. Really negates one of the biggest benefits of that skill. So hopefully Plarium's going to fix this. I have reported it, but we'll see if that happens. And when that said, he's still an incredible champion. I do have a whole video coming out with Jintoro in a variety of clan boss runs. I'll be doing that later on today or tomorrow. It's going to be really good, so pay attention for that, and I'll go over all the different ways you can use them in, all the different teams you can use them in, including the Batman Eater. But that said, let's get back to the run here. We'll jump to the end, actually, and go from there. Not bad, not bad. You can see he did about 7 million damage, so not quite as much as Rosin and Brago, but not too far off. And if he can keep pace with those two, that's a pretty good sign damage-wise. He doesn't have, like I said, crit damage amulet. He doesn't have that increased attack buff. He's going to do solid work for your team. Now, I don't know that I'd necessarily be my first choice for a traditional clan boss team like this. I think he's really going to shine in a unkillable team. Specifically, I think he's going to be really good for a budget man-eater team and an easy double man-eater team. Any team that works at a pretty traditional speed. He's going to work really well with Mashald. He's going to work really well with Krisk. He's going to have some issues, and I'm still not sure how to do this whenever you try to bring him in with a turn meter booster. So you're using Apothecary, you're using High Katoon, you're using the Archmage, not Archmage helmet. That would be fine. If you're trying to pair him with, what's his name? Armstrong, Deacon Armstrong, Seeker. All of those people do turn meter boosts. So he's not going to work well with them. He's going to get double the effect of any turn meter boost. So it's not like he won't work well, but you're going to have to come up with a unique tune for Jintoro with those champions. It might be as simple as just making his speed lower. It might be. I honestly don't know. I don't have him in the calculator yet, as the champions haven't been released, and I haven't been able to download the information to make these champions yet. But so I don't know exactly how that's going to interact. But just know, like, you're not going to be able to just drop him into a Bat Eater team and expect it to work right away. I'm not saying it can't. I just wouldn't expect it to right away, at least not right away. So those are things that we'll look at and we'll try and figure out hopefully soon. But I think you can see the guy can play. I'm actually really interested to see what he would be like in a double easy man-eater team. Because, in that kind of situation, you can really build him full out attack, full out crit damage, and I think you could see a lot of good stuff coming out of that. So, excellent champion, guys. Really good. So that's Jintoro. I mean, I think this guy is going to be fantastic for clan boss, for dungeons. The ability to steal turn meter is always really strong. Decrease defense and weaken is always really strong. And he hits pretty darn hard. And I really like the A1 where he kills somebody, he gets an extra turn right away. That can be a really positive ability too, especially for progression, especially for the dungeon waves getting to the boss. So there's a lot to like about Jintoro. I really encourage you guys, if you get him, celebration, this guy's going to be really good for your team. So, looking forward to that. Thank you guys for stopping by. Again, if you enjoyed the music you heard today, go ahead and hit that Soundstripe link. You'll find it down below. Otherwise, until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.